Hello guys and welcome back today. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the Camacho. This is the new pickup released today in GTA 5 Online. This pickup is, in my opinion, a really cool pickup, and the simple answer is if you should or should not buy it, in my opinion, would be yes. Because it is a really good off-road vehicle, as you will see if you watch this video. It is a very amazing off-roading vehicle. They really did add everything you need for an off-road vehicle into this vehicle, this pickup slash Jeep. Now the looks of it is a bit different. At first when I saw this I didn't really like it, but I grew to like it more. If you customize it, it looks a lot better. The pickup is not that expensive either. It is $300 from between 3 to 4 million. I'm not even exactly sure the exact price, but it is a relatively cheap vehicle for a 4-seating off-road vehicle. You can take 3 of your friends plus you. You can go off-road. You can go pretty much anywhere you want in GTA with this thing, except of course in water for too long. Now I did not like the stack exhaust because in my opinion only diesels should have stacks, and even then not all of them should have stacks. But it has a load of customization options. There is tons of customizations in this pickup. You can add different doors to it. You can give it like a more of a off-road rescue vehicle kind of look. As you will be able to tell, you can put a shovel on the hood. You can put a bunch of stuff on it. Now I like the original grille because of the little LED strips, even though they do not work. I like the way they look. There's a bunch of hood options. As you can tell, there's more of a rescue shovel slash expeditioner kind of look to it. I like this hood on it, a little vents on top, and then now I did not put any neon lights because this is an off-road vehicle. It would be more unrealistic, but as you can tell there is a lot of different customizations, a pretty good amount of liveries on here. You can go for whatever you like. There is a military-ish themed one. There is some camo. There is an actual camo. Patriotic. There's the rust paint job. There's a bunch of paint jobs. I did not add any of these to it. I did think about adding one of them, but I ended up going with none. Now I put my own custom license plate on all of my vehicles, as you can tell, and I was having some problems deciding what color I wanted this thing. I almost wanted to go black, but I like to have the secondary color black. It gives it more of a complete look in my opinion. And if it's all one color, on some vehicles it looks nice, but on this thing I wanted it to have 2 different colors. But as you can tell, I went with my crew color. This is a nice orange-ish color. Now I could not put the crew emblem on the side as I took the doors off, but I ended up going with this paint job. It costs a little more, but it, in my opinion, makes it look that much better. Now you can add a bunch of different roll cages to it, or you can customize this pickup to however you want it. You can take off the roof, which I took mine off. I sort of like the way it looked without it, the more exposed look on it, but you can add a bunch of different steps or skirts on the side. Now I did not lower it, as this is an off-road vehicle. You do not want it lowered, and as you guys might have noticed by now, today's video is a little bit longer, but that's because an off-road vehicle there is so many more things it needs to be able to do, so I wanted to do a good test for you guys. So I tested the suspension, the off-road slash rally rally capabilities on it, a climbing test, and I think that was all the tests I did, plus the full customization, which fully customized this pickup will cost you around 700,000. Because when I bought this, I had about 1.1 million in GTA, and by the time I got done, I had around 480,000. So it is not as expensive as some of the other vehicles. For off-road, it is a fair price in my opinion. Now, as you can tell, here I get into the suspension test, which this is a really good place for suspension tests, climbing rocks. See how easy it will get dragged onto something, or how easily it will stop climbing, get stuck. But as you can tell, this thing did not really have any problems going through these rocks here. It just kept on going and didn't slow down. And nope. There I had a little bit of problems getting it kind of stuck on something, but other than that. Now, as you can see here, I went into the water. I did not do much of a water test in this one to see how water resistant it is, but until there I went through the water without having many problems. I was able to climb. You can tell there's a little bit steeper rock, so I decided to try to climb those with this pickup, and it worked perfectly. Climbed right over it without a problem. And you can tell driving capabilities, it is pretty good at driving. Off-road, you can drift it. It is a four-wheel drive vehicle, which most off-road vehicles in this game are. I think probably all of them are. Not 100% sure though, but you can tell it does go through the rocks. For how low the pickup looks when it is sitting on the ground, it went through these rocks surprisingly well. As you guys can tell, this pickup is pretty fast. It handles pretty well. I tried to do some drifting there. Doesn't seem to slide too easily. Now, here I did a little bit of a water test. Jumping it into the water to see how well it will handle the water. I know certain vehicles in GTA, if you jump into the water with them, as soon as the cab goes under, they will be destroyed. So that's the purpose of that test was. Now, it could not make its way up that little cliff, but other than that, it seemed to do okay. It was able to stay in the water for a while without being destroyed. But this is sort of a lowered vehicle compared to some of the off-road vehicles, so this would be more of a climbing slash driving around on mountains vehicle, not much of a trying to climb up, I guess, steep hills or anything that you need a height on this pickup for. As you can tell, it went through the water really well there without trying to drift off course or anything. Handles well, and through little water like this, it seems to hardly even slow down. Pretty quick little pickup. Anyway, let's get on to the next test. Now this is the hill climb test. I like to start here on this facility and then make your way up this mountain. The reason I did pick this mountain because it does have a bunch of cliffs on it, In my opinion, any off-road vehicle should be able to climb at least most of these. As you guys will be able to tell, I did have to pick up some speed on some of these climbs, but that is one problem most four-wheel drive off-road vehicles have in this game. They will just start to slide that off to the side if the wheels start to spin, so that is a bit trickier on some of the four-wheel drive, which is one thing. Would be really nice if they added a option to where you could turn your four-wheel drive off and back on. I think that would be an amazing feature in the game. But another problem, this pickup being a little bit longer than most and having the engine in the front, it seems to want to tip backwards pretty easy. Now the pickup that has the most problems, there are some other pickups that have more problems with this, but I will get into that in a different video. As you can tell, it can climb pretty well. It just, as long as you make sure you don't hit the ramp too fast or anything to where it wants to just tip backwards, then it can actually climb pretty well. Until it does try to tip backwards really easy, but it does have some amazing grip on it, amazing climbing capabilities. Now, you can tell it just wants to tip a lot. It was a bit tricky getting it to go onto hills. That's why you want to either start really slow to where it'll stay down, or you want to get enough speed to where it won't matter if it does tip. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to try to climb all these slow, not try to fly through them with a lot of speed, so that way it actually shows the amount of power it has. Now this cliff, I have not found a single vehicle I've been able to climb this cliff with without getting speed on it because of the little ridges on it. If you pick up speed, you can make it easily over this cliff, but it is tricky to climb with basically any vehicle because of those ridges getting caught on there all the time. But this pickup is a bit awkward to drive as it is a little bit longer than most vehicles in this game. The turning and everything is not the best for tight corners, so if you're going on like a trail or something onto the top of Mount Chiliad, I would probably recommend getting a shorter off-road vehicle. But if you do want to take a bunch of friends, this vehicle would still make it up there. You might just have to be a little bit more careful. In my opinion, this pickup is better than the Sand King, but the Sand King is cheaper. I will be doing a video on the Sand King sometime soon, comparing the original versus some of the newer vehicles in this game, off-road vehicles. Now, as you can tell here, it climbs it without a problem. I even stopped to get back to going, and after this point, it's just trying to stay on this little ridge without falling off. Yeah, as you guys can tell, it was able to climb this without basically any problems. Made it up here pretty easily. Off to the next test is rallying. Now, as you guys can see, I am going to be rallying down this road here in Sandy Shores. It has a pretty good straightaway to go down, and then I will be going off on some other roads. But the suspension looks amazing on this pickup. It handles really well even after jumps. I know some vehicles, when you jump them, when you come back to land, the steering wheel will try to go off to the side, it will try to spin you out. But this pickup seemed to, even if landing a little bit awkward, would still seem to be going in the direction you wanted it to go, which is a really, really good thing, because if you're racing somebody, you do not want to have to worry about every ramp, every bump in the road, having to worry about losing control of it. Now, as you can tell, it is flying down the road. For an off-road vehicle, it is pretty fast. It's really quick little pickup. I go down these roads here a little bit, try to do some corners, take some corners with it. It seems to handle pretty well. You do have to use the e-brake a lot because the actual turning radius is not that good on this pickup. As it is a four-wheel drive and then longer vehicle, it makes perfect sense. As long as you use the e-brake just a little bit to get it to slide, it will take corners pretty well. It seemed to handle really well on all the tests I took it on. I took it off through a bunch of roads. You can tell there the ramping is pretty good. It will ramp and land pretty smoothly and everything. Seems to work fine on this pickup. So here I had to use the e-brakes because if not, it seemed to not want to turn sharp enough. If you did not get it to drift a little bit, it does not seem to turn. It's just steering. It does not seem to turn really well. You do have to use the e-brakes on sharper corners. There I did not use them. As you can tell, I had to take a little bit more of a round corner, but this pickup is an absolute beast when going off-road, as you can tell here. It does not want to stop for anything in its way. It will tear through the off-road. This might just be one of the best off-road vehicles, if not the best, in GTA so far. Now, that you can consider the trophy truck would probably be better because it is designed for this, but for an off-road vehicle to drive around with your friends with, this is probably the best vehicle you could choose drive around with. That and the price on it makes it a almost must buy. So if you are a fan of off-road vehicles in GTA 5, I would totally recommend this pickup. It is a really amazing off-road vehicle. It is pretty cheap too. Fully customized, it is only about $600,000 to $700,000. And you have a fully customized vehicle that you can take off-road for your friends, and first person works pretty well since you can take off the cab and everything. You can have pretty good viewing radius. I know some of the vehicles is kind of hard to drive in first person. If you're one of those people who like to drive in first person, this thing is really easy to drive in first person, so I would totally recommend this vehicle. It is a really amazing pickup. So if you guys looking to see if you should buy it, my opinion on this would be yes, because it does have good off-road capabilities. It is a good all-around pickup for off-roading.